Yo, what's up, guys? Teacher Paul here, and today we are reacting to a reaction. Actually, we're reacting to a stream. This is a lecture by Squeaks, and this was a coffee request. It was a video request by Whiplash, and Whiplash is introducing me to Squeaks. He says, "This is Squeaks, a variety streamer who is well known for being other streamers' favorite streamer." Okay. And by the way, we have watched some of his clips to get to know his personality and how crazy he is, his charisma. So we've watched some of his clips, his best clips. He is funny and is very quick with his jokes while communicating or acting with other streamers or simply just playing a simple game like Super Mario. This is his quick impromptu lesson to university students about streaming. So let's see if we can learn something here. This was a challenge by Valkyrie. Am I saying her name right? From just the day before. Let's check it out.
Hello!
Do we have volume? Okay. They let me teach a class at NYU. This is NYU? Dang.
Right, it's not that scary out here. It's not that bad. Hi guys, I am Rachel Hofstetter, aka Valkyrie. I've been a live streamer for 11 years now. We are doing a presentation, well, Squeaks is.
Right.
He's gonna be doing a presentation for you guys, and let's get right into it since we're running late.
How's it going, by the way, guys? You doing good? Well, get ready to freaking learn.
Let's
Who am
learn.
I? Why should we even listen to you? Hello, I'm Squeaks, also known as Squeaks, and I went to University of California, Davis, graduated in economics, and I worked in different financial fields, specifically wealth management, fintech, and more, and had a little bit of a career stint as a speech and debate coach. Now, why is it important to include the background before streaming? Because all of these skills can coalesce into whatever creative field that you go into. I started streaming in 2013, and I started with this game Outlast. With a show of hands, does anyone know Outlast? Gamers in here, by the way.
Heard of it.
I remember I went live to stream to my friends. For some reason, in my first stream, I got 20 viewers. And I was so nervous I ended stream. I was like, hell no. So I got a bit of stage fright. From 2013, I started on and off streaming. Hi.
I just wanted to say, how did you overcome your stage fright?
Oh, it's a great question. Thanks so much for asking. It's just that we have a Q&A.
I thought he was gonna. Oh, actually, he is gonna cut her off. I thought he was gonna say, "Thanks so much for interrupting the schedule I have here prepared, because you know there is a chronogram that I need to follow." But let me just answer that real quick. Stage fright is, well, I don't know. He's the one doing the lecture here.
I just wanted to say, how did you overcome your stage fright?
Oh, it's a great question.
She doesn't have
Thanks
stage
so
fright.
much for asking. It's just that we have a Q&A policy after, so it's I'll address that later. No, it's a great question.
Yeah,
Thank
keep
you.
your questions for
no,
after.
I got over my stage fright by just showing up every day and trying to be funnier and funnier until I developed enough self-confidence to eventually speak in front of students, which is great. But yeah, no, I just kept doing it. I had really a concurrent viewership of 3 for years and years.
Wow.
And I'm talking about Stream Elements, my mod, and my friend. So
Wow.
it took like 4 years.
Right now we have
for me to
4 watching, so I'm on that path right there. But let me tell you one thing. I also kind of, I don't know. Yeah, I do have stage fright, or I used to have stage fright, and I'm still very shy in person. But I think the secret is ignore it. Just do it. I have had some panic attacks while doing live streams in the past. You know, people that were pressuring me while I was online, and I've learned how to deal with it just by showing up, just by not giving up, just doing it. If you really like it and if you really want to do it, just do it, and you'll just do it. Just reminded me of Shia LaBeouf here. But yeah, just do it. I mean, just do it. Literally, just show up. That's how you do it. Just show up. Because we all have this imposter syndrome, and we all think, oh, nobody's going to watch. Oh, people, like, we look too much at the numbers. And I think being online is more about ignoring stuff. Ignore the comments. Don't ignore the good stuff. Filter the good comments, filter the constructive criticism, but ignore everything else. Ignore the noise, because sometimes you don't know who's on the other side of the computer. I learned that lesson one day when I was angry at someone who commented something, and I was like, I obviously I didn't offend them or anything, but I said, "Come on, relax" or something, and they replied saying, "I'm 12 years old and I'm autistic. I can say whatever I want," and I'm like, "Ooh, wait a second. First of all, wrong. You can't say whatever you want, but I don't want to be the guy arguing with a 12-year-old autistic kid." And I just started thinking, I don't know who's on the other side. I don't know what their intent is. And some people just want to troll. So ignoring the hate comments because you don't know where it comes from takes you a long way. Ignoring your fears, ignoring your anxiety, and ignoring everything that you go through to press that play button or the record button or the stream button, just pressing that start button and going from there, that takes you a long way. And just ignoring those feelings will become natural. And that's what I do. Like, I'm not shy anymore to be on camera, but it's been a really long time since I've been doing this. Wow, I can't wait for your reaction to some of his lecture. Hey, I'm a teacher, so... Very good, very nice. I'm a teacher, so I'm going to give a lot of input here. But anyways, let's keep going.
Start getting traction until I started speedrunning Super Mario 64. Now, the real gamer test. Super Mario 64. Any fans?
Oh, I've heard of it.
Okay, great. So I started speedrunning Super Mario 64, and now
Sounds
I'm a
familiar.
full-time variety streamer, which is amazing, and I love it. And so my goal with the presentation today is to hopefully try to give you some off-the-beaten-path advice from what I've learned. But first and foremost, before I even continue, the number one aspect to be a streamer is luck. If I was in this class, I'd be sitting and being like, it's like listening to someone who won the lottery saying, buy lotto tickets.
Survival bias.
Comes off, and it is luck, but there are certain things that I've learned on my path of streaming to very little people, streaming to a little bit more, and then streaming to a lot more. Some of the lessons that I learned that I haven't seen on the internet, so it's the exclusive drop. Why the hell did I start with Mario 64? Look at this ugly game. Look at that on the right. Nobody wants to watch that. It's something that I learned very early was in any business or anything creative, I think you have to ask yourself, like, what is your elevator pitch for your stream? So specifically with Mario 64, I thought something that I could utilize was, I love comedy, I love humor, I love doing stupid jokes. And I didn't see that being represented in the category of Mario 64. I found Mario...
So you got to find a niche and you got to find a purpose. That's interesting because some people just start playing without a purpose. They find a niche, but they don't find a purpose. They don't do things with intent. Interesting. Okay.
...to be the perfect background game while, I just say random stuff. On TikTok, I think you guys will notice, there's a lot of videos that have Subway Surfers or I just saw this one in the green room. This guy pushing down jars with marbles in it until they explode. Why is that more entertaining than anything I've ever created? It's something that is interesting to look at while you get to shine your personality or shine something that you have to say. So that's why I thought Mario 64 is a perfect start because it's a niche. And also, it's a great visual background to have. Oh, yeah, question right there. Go ahead.
So you said you had no viewers for 4 years, right?
Yeah.
So, how did you persevere through that?
This is going to sound so douchey. But I never wanted, I never really cared.
He missed a joke over their opportunity. He could have said, this is going to sound so douchey, but we have a Q&A policy where we leave it to the end of the lecture. It could have been a recurring joke. I think that would be funny. But that's the number one thing. You got to do things with intent,
But I never wanted, I never really cared about having viewers because I just liked streaming. Like I liked being funny. I think that came from just doing speech and debate. You kind of have to perform to a room full of like 3 people who hate you in a school.
My follow-up question would be, okay, but how did you manage to pay the bills with only 4 viewers? I mean, that's the number one thing. That's the essence of everything, because you've got to start somewhere, but you need a financial plan as well. I hope he talks about that as well.
And I think like that's sort of like the DNA that you kind of need in anything creative, whether it's art, whether it's music. If you don't like it, doing it to nobody, then why the hell would someone want to watch or experience something that you've created?
Exactly.
Brief history of live streaming, because I think it's important. One of the first major streaming platforms was Justin TV. Launched in 2007.
Justin TV, dang.
And it started with an IRL streamer, basically, Justin Can. And he streamed his whole life.
That's old school.
24/7, kind of like the Truman Show. And this is what actually started gaming. Now, a lot of people say, I remember when streaming was all about gaming, the golden years. But no, actually, streaming started out as a live stream IRL. That later expanded into gaming and, events, etc. And then in 2011 was the birth of Twitch, and the gaming section in Justin TV flourished so much that they made an offset. That was like, okay, gaming now exists on Twitch TV. And then later, Twitch was acquired by Amazon for $970 million, which in retrospect was a great deal because there's still so many eyes on Amazon. With a show of hands, how many?
Let's put that in perspective. 970 million to purchase Justin TV is less than what that AI company paid Khaby Lame for his whole persona and his whole likeness. Can you see how far we've come? Although there are some speculations with that kind of shady purchase. But I'm not going to get into that.
Because there's still so many eyes on Amazon. With a show of hands, how many of you want to become a full-time streamer? Nobody except...
Why are you there then?
No, okay, wait. A show of hands, how many of you guys would like to pursue something creative?
Oh, there you go.
Okay, good.
Oh yeah, but
That's good.
they're in NYU. They're not necessarily in a Twitch streamer. Like, okay, I understand. Because I thought they were going there just to hear his speech.
Thank God. Can you imagine a room full of insurance salesmen or something? I'm like, gotta get your short form content out there. No. Well, good, because I actually made this for the people who want to pursue creative fields or art. And I'm not calling streaming art, but I think like any sort of form of self-expression or any sort of creativity, there's a lot of similar advice that I would say goes into all of them. These are thumbnails. And let me tell you, there
Ludwig.
are a lot of people who want to be full-time streamers. I wanted to watch what my peers were saying, right? And it was all very similar. I don't want to call them garbage. They're not garbage. But they had some good advice. I went into this thinking like I'm going to hear the worst advice ever, but holy shit, I learned a couple things here. So here are the common stream tips. I'm going to speed run through this because I think this is like, everyone has this advice. Consistency. Streaming on a schedule. Now I know none of you want to be streamers except for Fuslie? Okay. But I would say the same thing with anything. Like a lot of art or creativity has to be scheduled because like, you know the term writer's block? For an output, I feel like it's essential every day to sit there with a blank piece of paper, with a blank canvas, and really try to just think about what to make. Even the process, even if there's nothing that's put on pieces of paper, just the process of thinking of what to output is extremely helpful for when you eventually have that spark of inspiration. So consistency is essential, especially in the broadcasting space. Talk even when nobody is watching. This is what I'm talking about, like I touched on before.
Nice.
Narrating your thoughts, decisions, and reactions are also important because how many of you have like clicked a stream or watched a YouTube video and the guy's just not talking? It's like almost like, I feel like creepy. Like
I feel like I overdo that though. You know, sometimes, and even now, like in the morning streams, there is nobody watching. Like, I don't know a lot of people work in the mornings. I've heard that's a thing, you know, working full time. I'm joking. I used to work full time. I know how it is. But people sometimes aren't on stream. My point is, I talk as if I had a full chat here. You know, I'm always, what do you guys think? You know, because I know that even if they don't watch now, they're going to watch later. So I ask questions and I want you guys to participate in the chat, in the comments. And that's very essential. Talk even if somebody's not watching, you know, because there's always someone listening, even if it's your neighbor. And I feel like that's important. I know he's talking about Twitch, but that also works for YouTube. When you do a YouTube video, it feels like you're doing that with a purpose and you're thinking somebody's going to watch it later. So when you're live streaming, also, just like if you're a gamer, I've done gaming streaming as well. Don't think that you're just playing a game. Talk to an audience. And even if that number is 0, and something I like about Streamlabs is that sometimes you can hide the number of viewers, which I do that sometimes when I feel very sad that nobody's watching. When there's like 0 viewers over there, when I look over to my dashboard, I put that in 0. I put that, I hide that and I keep going, and I just remember somebody's going to watch it after the fact. So just make it entertaining and learn how to talk to yourself. He has very good insight here. And I feel like doing something with a purpose is great. Obviously, sometimes I sit here in the dark alone while I'm doing my own back end work. But I feel like that's more of a meditation moment. I put some music on and I work in the background. Because, and the only reason I do that is because I don't keep some of the VODs. I keep them on YouTube, but not on Twitch. But there is a purpose for that, you know, and sometimes it's the peace of mind. And I think you have to find that work balance. As I said, you need a purpose. And I feel like that's something to keep in mind when you start something. Like, don't just start with a purpose. What is your goal? And also don't start with a high goal, because you can easily be upset with that. But we're going to talk more about that. I think he's going to touch on a few things. But this is very insightful. And I hope my 2 cents or my 5 cents or how much I'm contributing to this helps people, because I've been doing this for a while now as well. I'm new to Twitch, but I've been doing YouTube for a long time. And thanks to you guys, I'm able to do it full time. So it's pretty cool. And I like giving my sharing my experience, because everybody has a different experience.
Relying on this guy playing a game. Do not obsess over metrics. So this is a big one.
That's what I was saying.
A lot of the advice that I saw from the slide before, those thumbnails, a lot of them said to like set goals, follower goals, sub goals, subscriber goals. And I find that to be extremely vapid, not because it's like anything materialistic, rather because what if you don't meet that goal? You're gonna quit? I just find that to be like, it's so on the surface, and you have to ask yourself deeper questions of like, why the hell do you even want to make something in the first place? Like, what's the...
That's what I was saying. I said set goals, but not large goals. Just set simple goals, like I'm gonna live stream for 100 days straight, or from Monday to Friday. I'm not talking about numbers here, because numbers they're smokes and mirrors. I have more than 1 million subscribers across my YouTube channels, but that means absolutely nothing when it comes to Twitch, because it's a different audience, it's a different algorithm, it's a different platform. And you must be happy getting 1 million views on a video, and you must also be happy getting 10 views. Right now we have 4 viewers, and I'm still here with the same energy as if I was making a video that I knew was going to get 1 million views, because it has to be genuine, you know? So don't look at the numbers, because the numbers will not make you happy. There was a time that I had 75 million views a month when shorts was a new thing. And I still was like, hey, let's go to 100 million. Let's go to numbers will not make up for it. And also viral videos. Some people chase viral videos. That's not going to change the course of your channel. You have to be in it for a long run. You have to think of it as a career, not just a simple job, not just a simple freelance gig that you're going to do once. No, it has to be something consistent, because viral moments, they fade, and you will always keep chasing that viral moment again, and you'll never be happy until you hit that again. So don't look at the numbers. Trust me, this comes from a guy who has 40 million views on one shorts video, 7 million views on my longest long form video, but at the same time I have videos with 10 views, with 100 views on a daily basis. So it's not about the individual success. It's about the whole thing. And I remember just a few months ago or a few weeks ago, I don't know, I don't keep track, somebody came to me and say, oh wow, you're acting, he said something about a paywall because I have exclusive content. All of this while you only have 10,000 or 7,000 subscribers. And I was thinking to myself, he is belittling me because one of my channels it's a new channel, it has 7,000 subscribers, and he's belittling me while I have 1 million subscribers on another channel. And I was like, see, it's all about perspective. And I don't care if I have 1 million subscribers, if I have 100. I just want to do that content, and I want to be there and do that. So I'm not looking at the views. Right now, my One Piece reactions have 15 views. I'm still doing it because I want to do it, and there is a purpose and there is a passion for it as well. So listen to this man. He is very wise. Don't look at and don't obsess over, don't look at the numbers and don't obsess over the metrics, because like me, I have a channel with 800,000 subscribers, and I have a channel with 1,000 subscribers or 7,000. I don't know. I don't keep track of the numbers. And I need to treat this channel as special as I do this one. Otherwise, I won't go anywhere.
Deeper questions of like, why the hell do you even want to make something in the first place? Like, what's the real goal? Like, what creative itch are you scratching with it? That should be enough. It should be sort of an intrinsic thing, because if it's extrinsic, things go wrong. You're not going to hit your metrics, and if you give up, that's it. Story over. A lot of people say stream less, create more. Make YouTube and TikTok
Whiplash.
clips. Twitch has no discovery. TikTok is everything. Let's freaking go. What are we doing when we're home alone? We're scrolling the reels. We're scrolling TikTok. That's where you people just get discovered nowadays. So pick a lane. Oh, question.
Did you get discovered on TikTok?
Yeah. So I have a weird one because, as I said, I got extremely lucky. Specifically,
I guess I need to do more TikTok videos if I want to blow up on Twitch.
Because I played a niche, which is Mario 64 speedrunning, and a lot of other big streamers started watching me and started talking about me on their stream. And then the TikTok came later,
Collabs.
which people just started creating TikToks for me. And I was like, all right, I still don't understand it. Yeah, go ahead.
Are you the owner of the channel Squeaks Daily?
As of 3 days ago, yeah.
Oh, really?
Squeaks Daily is part of the main channel, that's right. So yeah, so like all these people, that's what I find is like the best growth is organic.
She's a hired Twitch mod, isn't she? She's adding these questions to make the speech more engaging. She's acting like an active chat. But guys, I like, do you remember when Andrew Tate became the most Googled man on earth? He had this plan where he got a lot of people to post videos about him. He literally paid them hundreds of thousands of people to post hundreds of thousands of videos. And that's how he got so popular. Him and Joe Rogan were the people who had the most shorts about them. So it's about volume. It's about people not forgetting you. It's about the algorithm feeding people. And it's about having people having eyes on you, and that makes you relevant on the internet. So it's about volume. That's the number one thing. If you are posting shorts, the algorithm will pick it up. It's just it is how it is. That's how it is. So it's an important gateway. Clips. Have you seen clips that made him famous? So clips, shorts, those are what makes people famous. But also not any types of shorts. You have to clip farm, which is something I do not do. But maybe I should if I want to be famous on Twitch.
Right. So yeah, so like all
Which is another thing. I don't seek fame. That's an important topic.
these people, but that's what I find is like the best growth is organic. Like people will make stuff if it's interesting. And then if you can capitalize on that by like giving them more fuel and like help support the creative team behind it. But I got extremely lucky because people started watching, the big streamers started watching me. Ludwig wanted to race me in Mario, which was big for me. And then I played Grand Theft Auto Roleplay.
And now they're friends.
Vivek Ramaswamy or whatever. But so there was just a bunch of peaks. I was like, whoop, whoop. Also, an important one. Make genuine friends. I hate the term networking, especially if you're doing something creative. Like the term networking is so sociopathic. It's like
that's what I'm missing. I'm missing some friends here to make content with me.
Like a transaction, like we're aliens. Actually like the people that you're interacting with, and it's all tides, raise the ship. Because it's so obvious to people when people hate each other. It's so apparent, and it comes off as forced or something weird. So make genuine friends. You have a common interest. Yeah.
What happens when you're playing a game with people that you think are going to be your friends, but then you realize that you actually don't that you don't like them mid-game? Has that ever happened to you, and how do you handle that?
Yeah, well, it actually has happened to me during Counter-Strike recently. No, I'm just kidding. No. What happens is you have to end the broadcast and make some decisions. We're going to be a little more strict with who we're queuing up with next time. If you're like, oh, I'm getting a viewership boost or whatever, so I'll keep faking it or whatever, it just becomes a drag. Good audio. Anyway.
The word for that is synergy. The word for that is synergy. You have to have the synergy with people. And I think that's one of my flaws. I like watching this. I know what my flaws are. I need to collab more. I need to make more friends, have more people working with me. I need to post less noise and more focused videos. And I need to do things with a purpose, because right now I'm just going online, having fun, and that's it, which is the life I chose. But if I do want to blow up, there are some things that need to be on purpose. Unless, suddenly one of my clips blows up and people start liking me. I'm kidding. No, but seriously, I feel like my biggest audience is from places that don't like Twitch. Like I have a lot of people watching from India. They don't like Twitch. I have a lot of people watching from South Korea. Twitch has been shut down there. So I feel like it's a new audience, and that's fine. We're going to get there. But I love the community that I have here. Even though it's a small community, 4 or 5 people watching at the same time, we have a lot of fun here, and you guys are really supportive. So I love that. And I sometimes am afraid of doing something that will blow up the channel, and then I won't be able to read your guys' comments, and we won't be as close as before because of that, because of the constant chat, But it is what it is. Anyways, good audio. That is more important than good image. Just analyze. Have you ever watched an FBI, no, not FBI, a 911 call? Sometimes it's just text on the video. It's just text on the screen, but the audio is good. And if it's intriguing, you watch it without anything else, just the audio and the text. But have you ever watched a video where the audio is horrible? You can't handle it. You literally won't watch the full thing. So good audio. If you have to invest in something and you're on a budget, always invest on the microphone first. Microphone first, lighting second, camera is always the last. You can use your phone, you can use anything else, but the microphone needs to be good. That's the first thing. The microphone first, the lights second, and then last is always the camera.
What I think makes a good streamer, what's uncommon, what do people not talk about in creative fields? What is, some things that I found underrepresented from the research I did online. Lesson 1, develop a unique perspective. If your stream is the same gameplay, same reactions, same commentaries, viewers don't have a reason to watch you. With the show of hands, what are you guys, what are you guys hoping? You all raise your hand for creative field. Like, what kind of stuff do you guys hope to get into? Game dev.
We are the NYU Game Center.
Oh my God.
You're in the game center.
Well, that makes sense.
Everyone
And
is
here I'm like,
wanting
do you know
to design
Outlast?
games.
And you guys are like, yeah. Mario 64. What is your unique perspective?
Here's my advice to anyone who wants to give a lecture. Know your audience. I'm trolling. But yeah, know your audience. As a teacher, that's the number one thing, because you will be more confident and you'll know what to what is the word here I'm looking for? Cover. That's not exactly the word, but you'll know what to cover. No, but I'm just trolling. He is doing a great job as a lecturer. Doing a great job.
I think that still counts in terms of game design, because if you live in game design or you live in streaming and you don't do anything else, then you end up making your product be about the process of making a product. I see it in everything. How many of you have seen comedians talking about comedy? How many of you have seen streamers talking about streaming? It becomes this cyclical process where you lose your unique perspective. What makes your game representative of your life's collective experiences? That's what I think is extremely important, is really spend time in the real world and experience things. Go to things you hate. Go see music concerts, because all of this will coalesce into what you think. I think that is awesome. There's a lot of games out there that I think are good representatives of this. I saw Moon Moon yesterday playing Stanley Parable. And that's another great example of someone who was new to the scene, created a game that was almost a criticism of other games veiled in a good gameplay. So I just think that it's a good call out to develop your own story a little bit here. The goal isn't to be like your favorite streamers, but to be recognizably yourself. Especially in art or game development, I'm sure. You have like a favorite game, right? And it sneaks its way into small decisions that you make early on. But eventually, the goal should be to find your own unique voice. It's no shame into copying, but eventually, you'll pick your favorite parts of it and make your own voice. Same thing with streaming. Lesson 2.
That is really important, what he said there. And that's something I didn't realize. It's something that I subconsciously do. My slogan here on the channel is discover something new. And I think that's one of the biggest parts of my success. I don't want to use that word, but it's one of the biggest parts of how the channel grew so much, because on YouTube at least, because I provide different perspective as someone who has never done that or seen that before. I react to stuff that is so random, and I give you guys the control to show me crazy stuff or fun stuff. One day I was reacting to reindeers crossing a river. The other day I was reacting to an Indian horror film. The next day I was watching a historical Korean ASMR video of how they made a bow and arrow. Like, I feel like for someone who has never seen or has never had contact with that, I feel like I can give my perspective. I can show my confusion. And that's something that a lot of people actually criticize me for, but at the same time, they enjoy it. Because some people are like, you're a teacher and you don't know about this. yeah, don't be afraid of saying I don't know. Don't be afraid of going against your pride and saying, guys, I have no idea what I'm watching. What am I watching? Because people will see that you are genuine. And when you talk about something that you know, then you're providing value. But when you talk about something you don't know, you're providing perspective and an honest, genuine feedback. That is very valuable to someone who's trying to reach a different audience because they already have their market share in things that people like. When people don't like something and they tell you why they don't like it, it provides value to the person who is producing it because they're going to be like, okay, so if I want to catch a broader audience, I need to fix these things. So it's all about perspective. But at the same time, it also provides value. It's not educational value per se. It's not sharing your experience, but it's actually sharing your lack of experience that will get people to understand what they need to do to reach a broader audience. If that makes any sense.
Become a storyteller. Every great story has a clear goal, chapters, narration, and emotional moments. What's the clear goal in streaming? What are we doing today? What is the point of me watching this from start to finish? Same thing in game design. What is the point? Is this just going to be endless? Like, what's the main character's goal? What's the game mechanics end result? Like, how is there a clear path to mastery in this game? What's the story beyond the narration?
He's so good at what he's doing that he changed the narrative. He's talking about become a good storyteller, and now he changed that so that the game developers would understand in their realm, why are we designing this game? What is the end goal? He started speaking their language after he learned something about them. So knowing your audience is very important. That's why he asked, what are you guys doing? What are you majoring in? What is your intent? So he found out that they are creative. He found out that they are also game developers, and now he can level with them in the same language and help them with his lecture. So he's adapting to his audience. That is awesome. This is really insightful. Thank you so much, Whiplash, for sharing this with me.
When people hear goal setting, they want to say, okay, I'm going to beat all of Mario Party mini games in one sitting. But where's the story? Where's the failure? Where's the emotional turn? How many attempts is it going to take, etc.? This is important. Chapters. Is it even possible to do this in one sitting? The chapters are where the meat of the story is. And then you also have to be good at narration. And this is especially true in game design. Without the ability to explain why the hell things are going on, it's hard to have an emotional resonance with the character. You know, yesterday was the PlayStation State of Play, and there's so many trailers where it cuts to a character being like, never tell me the odds, or anything is possible. I'm like, what the f are you talking about? What's going on? Where's the emotional resonance? Walk the player through. It's sad when Mufasa dies in Lion King because Simba spent so much time with him that you can build that emotional bridge in your head. You start overlaying your own relationships to this. It's the same thing in anything, like in streaming. I want to see the streamer's thought process, and I want to feel the same thing that the streamer is feeling. And that leads into emotional moments.
That's nice.
Tensions, frustrations, excitements, and celebrations. With a story...
Emotional moment. I remember the blurb you guys have here of Ludwig saying, it's moments like these that make the stream a community.
Viewers can get more invested, chat engages more, and wins feel bigger, and losses mean a lot more. I'm not even just talking about the story of a game. I'm talking about what's the story of playing this, the story behind the mechanics. Why is this important? And stuff like that is really hard questions to sit down and think about, but I think is extremely important. Lesson 3. Understand your strengths. And I've done this, let me tell you. Copy what other people are doing. Raise your hand if you've seen like 100 Mr. Beast thumbnails on YouTube.
Oh,
Everyone's got
thousands.
one. It's so easy to make one because it's successful.
YouTube is beastified. There's no question about that. It's the beastification of YouTube.
it works. What's their energy like? I'm gonna copy that. What's their humor like? That's mine now. I'm gonna copy their game, and I'm gonna make the exact same video. And it works, that's the problem. But beyond that, what is your unique perspective? And oftentimes, actually, what I've learned is doing the opposite of what people are doing actually causes real long-term growth. And that goes back into like your whole life experience. What are you able to give to the audience that they can't get anywhere else? Really being self-critical and understanding your strengths as a storyteller, as someone with a perspective, can lead to a lot of growth in any creative medium. Also,
that is awesome, because there can only be one you. There is no way that another person can go through what you went through, have the same thoughts as you have. Even if you are classmates, even if you are twins, you always have your own unique story and your own unique thought process. And there cannot be a same person as you. So you got to use that to your advantage. Oh, but maybe people won't like me. Trust me. Turn on the camera. People will like you. You will find your audience. Because you are you. You're being yourself. Now, if you're trying to be someone you're not, then you're not going to be good at it. Unless you are a very good impersonator. But that's all you're going to be, impersonating someone else. So be yourself. Use your experience. Know your strengths. And just press record. And I know that imposter syndrome is it's a real thing. Sometimes you think you don't deserve it. Sometimes you think people don't like you. Sometimes you think, why will people watch me? But at the end of the day, you can see that there are so many unique people who always went through that. Awkward people, they're blown up. People who don't even, like, sometimes you even speak better than other people. XUC, I'm looking at you. Sometimes I don't even understand what he's saying. And I'm like, dude, it's because he's being himself. He's not trying to sound beautiful. He's just being himself. So you can be too. There's nothing special about us, those who have been. The only thing we do is consistency. We show up for our audience. We're always here. And we respect that they're coming back every day. And that one person becomes two, becomes three, becomes four.
It's moments like these that define a community.
There it is. Exactly. You build your community and just appreciate what you have, even if it's little or if it's large. Just love what you do. As I said, I feel the same way producing videos for my 7,000 subscriber channel as I do for my 850,000. It's the same energy. It's the same happiness. I sometimes watch Slow TV from Norway. We watched an old man living in a cabin away from the city for an hour and a half. There was no dialogue. It was just an old man. And I reacted to that with the same enthusiasm as I was watching yesterday's Spider-Man trailer. Because you need to love what you do. And hey, that's a good documentary. You go watch it. It's an old man in the cabin. But that's Swedish, actually. It's not Norwegian. That video was great, right? I also reacted to a 6-hour live stream of DEFCON 1. And you still got to keep up that energy after 6 hours of hardstyle. So, you know, just be yourself. And I'm not saying you should do that. I'm just saying, in my case, I love discovering something new. I really do. So discover what you like to do and do it consistently.
When you're analyzing other creators, you can be like, you can really sit down and say, what makes them, you know, what's their unique perspective? It's a good exercise. What makes a game good? That's a hard question. It's easy to be like, well, the story is a 7.0 and the graphics are, but like, think about it. What perspective are they trying to share? For streamers, it's like, oh, this is a really good representation of someone high energy and chaotic. Someone who's calm and relaxing. One of the terms that I hate is, you seem like someone who'd be a good streamer. Because it's like anyone can be a good streamer. Like when you think of a streamer, you probably think of someone super high energy and loud
Speed.
and wacko crazy, but there's also room for someone quiet, reserved, good at games. But
Am I quiet and reserved? Because sometimes I feel like I am wacky or crazy. I don't know. I am a very peculiar character. Sometimes I'm like, and sometimes I'm like, hello, how are you today? Today we're gonna read. Like I'm calm and excited at the same time. I don't know. I don't know. I can't figure out my own self. I can't figure out my. I just don't know. You are more normal than other people. I think everybody's normal, but it's weird. Let's go.
the question is, what can you specifically do well? What is your natural inclination? The more authentic you are and more genuine you are, funny enough, the audience starts growing. Question.
How do you figure out what you naturally do well, though?
That's a great question.
By
That's
doing
a really
it.
good one. I think like by being self-critical. You have to have a really good barometer, and it leads perfectly.
But what about, you said after a stream, but what about if I never streamed before?
If you never streamed before, well, then you have to bring your life's experience to it. I have a theory that everyone has something that's worthy of sharing. And whether that's, you might think my life is so boring and my whatever, and that might be true, but I think there's certain things that are worth sharing. My life is boring. There are things that you can relate to people that other people can't. And I think, at least in terms of comedy, a lot of people get famous in comedy by being super relatable. They'll say relatable things and it makes people laugh. But then they get to a point of success where they start becoming way less relatable. I don't want to hear Jerry Seinfeld on a private plane. Like, I want to hear him at the grocery store.
Yeah.
I want to hear him at things that, experiences that I can share and
That's
laugh
why it's
at.
called a
So I
sitcom.
think like remaining relatable,
Situation comedy.
that experiences that I can share and laugh at. So I think like remaining relatable and playing into whatever your experiences are specifically is where we get to harness your strengths. And it's a great question because it leads perfectly into my last and final lesson.
I want to add something. No. Like I've been adding so much to this video, but I want to add something. She's asking questions as if you need to be ready to do your first stream. And that's not the case. How do I know my strengths? How do I know what I like? How do I know? Listen, you have to sit down and make a decision in your life. Is this what I want? Do I want to be a streamer? That's the first thing you need to do. Do I want to start live streaming? That's the first thing. Ask yourself, do I want to? Yes, I do. And then you start. You don't need to plan anything. You just need to start. Because the moment you start, the ideas will come and you will start from zero, from nothing, and you will discover, what could I be doing with my time here on stream that I enjoy doing and that will be enjoyable for others? So don't wait until you're ready to start. Start so that you can become ready for one day your channel to be successful. So it's not about, oh, I need to prepare everything before I start. The start is the preparation. When I started, I had no idea what I was going to do. I had no idea. I tried a lot of different things until something stuck, and something that I thought to myself, do I want to wake up and do I wake up and feel excited to do it? And that's what I did. Every single day I wake up excited to do something. And that's what my wife sometimes actually says, you never stop working. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't notice I was working. It's just that it's fun. I'm having fun, or I'm studying. So my whole life is, it's part of what I do. It's not my work. It's what I like doing. If that gives you any perspective. So that's what sticks. That's what I'm good at. I'm good at things that I like to do. And that's how you learn. You learn by trying. You learn by doing it. and not forcing it. Because if you have to force anything that you don't like, it's not going to be sustainable. Some people criticize me saying, oh, you fake your reactions. Listen, do you think anybody in this world can make 20,000 videos reacting to stuff they don't like? Can you really fake something for 5 years straight with 20,000 videos? Come on. If somebody can do that, and if that somebody is me, then I'm very good at faking stuff. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense. So be genuine and like what you do. Because I feel like I like what I do. And I wake up every single day wanting to do more of it. And I feel like that's where you find that you're in the right place. And you can only reach that level once you start and learn from your mistakes, learn from your experience, and don't wait until you're ready to start. Just start. Just go for it. Just do it. Do it.
Filtering feedback. This is a hard one. Look for patterns, not individual opinions. One person complaining is noise. Many people saying something similar is a signal. In terms of live streaming, and I'm sure game design too, everybody's got something to say. This doesn't work, this drags, the story is bad, the mechanics are boring. It's the same thing in streaming. But what you also have to factor in, and is extremely hard for creative people, is the silent warrior. The guy who plays your game, not gonna say anything bad, but enjoys parts of it, but can't verbalize what he enjoys. Who's gonna be your most vocal critic is the chat room. But you have to factor in 90% of people who consume your content do not want to voice their opinions because they just have you on while they're answering Slack messages, studying for a test, doing homework. So catering to that small vocal percentage actually is a net negative. And it's actually better to ignore what people are saying to you constantly, which is crazy sounding, but it's true because you have to be very honest with what is their motive. I'll give you an example. TTS. Do you guys know what TTS is?
Yeah, text-to-speech.
Basically, during your stream, someone can donate and things will be said out loud. A lot of chatters say, we need TTS. I want to talk to you. I got to tell you what I think. I got to be mean to you. I got to be whatever. But you also have to factor in, what are the quiet people thinking? When you're watching a live stream, do you want some random guy to interrupt and say, hey, bad hairline? I don't think so, right? Because you're just having it as second monitor. So I think you just have to be honest. Protect your direction. If you change your content.
What he said there is very important because even me, sometimes I commit the same mistake asking, are you guys watching? Let me know what you think. Let me know. But sometimes you guys are you just have me on the TV and you're cooking and you can't reply. So I need to practice that as well. And I have done that, but I need to remember that sometimes you guys are AFK doing other stuff, but and you just want to enjoy a movie with me, for example, when we're reacting to movies. And I feel like some of my questions are rhetorical, but you answer at your own time as well. So that's interesting because the people who watch you daily, sometimes they talk, sometimes they don't. But if I think to myself, I watch so many creators, but I never comment. And there's a reason for I never comment because I have a verified account and sometimes my commentary could, I don't know, influence other people. Sometimes I just watch. Sometimes I don't even subscribe to the channel, but I watch them. And I need to remember that's what people do towards me as well. So sometimes you don't see a like on your video. Sometimes you don't see a comment on your video, but people are watching. So that's an interesting insight that he said. Really, really interesting because you're providing entertainment. People, what is more entertaining? So that's smart, what he said there. Because sometimes the TTS will tickle one viewer's urge to, I don't know, say something funny. But is that going to entertain other people as well? Interesting. Okay, that's pretty cool. work for everyone as a product, a final product, not just for individual ones. Because sometimes the comment will make you feel happy, but you got to put everyone around. And that's something I need to work on as well. Because sometimes I stop everything I'm doing to answer that one person because I don't want them to feel left out. But that also is what makes me unique. But at the same time, sometimes I stop my whole stream because of one single person. And maybe the rest aren't happy with that. So sometimes it's a negative, a net negative, because I'm trying to make one person happy while I'm making 5 other people just, come on, move on, let's go, you know?
Second monitor. So I think you just have to be honest. Protect your direction. If you change your content based on every suggestion, your stream will become inconsistent and your identity, your unique perspective, becomes weaker. I want to draw the distinction between Twitch chatter feedback and the silent warrior, who I always picture watching my stream. In conclusion, streaming success doesn't come from the perfect gaming setup, but you want to build something people want to come back to. And in terms of game dev, there has to be a reason that people don't just play your game and are like, yeah, that was fun, I'm going to refund it within 2 hours. No, they've got to come back. And I really strongly believe these 4 things help people not just follow a story, but follow a journey, which is becoming a storyteller, understanding your strengths, having a unique perspective, and the ability to filter feedback and to really self-analyze. Thank you.
That is a nice summary at the end there. I do have many questions for him, though. If I was there, for example, I would ask him a few questions. I would ask him about the money, right? Because we do need to pay our bills. And for some people who work the whole day, I think the answer to that is stream less. Stream 1 hour. You don't need to stream all day, but stream with a purpose. Start a stream and end the stream with a purpose. Don't leave a lot of, dead moments, silent moments. Just start with a purpose. And especially if you're starting off, script your stream like he did with some of the jokes he did in the clips that we saw previously. So make the stream as if it was a clip farming stream moment, because you don't have enough people watching you for it to be sustainable. So I'm answering my own question here, but I really wanted his perspective on that as well. I did have other questions, but now it slipped my mind. What was he? Let me see if I can remember.
There has to be a reason that people don't just play your game and are like, yeah, that was fun, I'm going to refund it within 2 hours. No.
No, before.
I think you just have to be honest. Protect your direction. If you change your content based on every suggestion, your stream will become inconsistent and your identity, your unique perspective, becomes weaker. I want to draw the distinction between Twitch chatter feedback and the silent warrior, who I always picture watching my stream. In conclusion,
yeah, I can't remember the question I had. It was a good question
doesn't
too.
Come from the perfect gaming setup, but you want to build something people want to come back to. And in terms of game dev, there has to be a reason that people don't just play your game and are like, yeah, that was fun, I'm going to refund it within 2 hours. No, they've got to come back. And I really strongly believe these 4 things help people not just follow a story, but follow a journey, which is becoming a storyteller, understanding your strengths, having a unique perspective, and the ability to filter feedback and to really self-analyze. Thank you.
That was a good lecture. That was a good speech. I hope I added value to this video, because I did speak quite a lot. It's a 20-minute video, which I turned into an hour video. But I feel like it touched a few things that I agree on, and some things that I learned, and some things that I want to share with you guys as well. Obviously, my experience is more on YouTube, but I feel like it also works on Twitch. One thing that is also a mistake that I kind of commit all the time, and that is something that it's the last thing I'm going to mention, so I don't keep you guys here longer, is also becoming too comfortable. I have become too comfortable with the life I have, and it blurs the line between what I need to do, what I want to do, and it kind of takes away all the ambition. So, but then again, not everybody needs to have ambition. So you need to be careful with that. Because right now I'm in a very comfortable position. I am able to live stream every single day. I'm able to choose the content that I do, at least part of it. But it is very difficult for me to innovate. And that's one of the reasons I made an extreme change recently over the New Year's. I mean, I was comfortable. You know, I could live stream, I could do this forever. But I decided I'm a bit too comfortable. I'm in the comfort zone here. Let's shake things up. I opened a new channel, one for sports, one for movies, and I'm starting from scratch. And that kind of revitalizes you as a creator, because I don't want to be simply a reactor forever. Like, I don't want to react to content and that's it. That's all I do. So I feel like reinventing yourself is important. My main channel, you guys saw the difference, right? That the changes I made. And I feel like that's important if I want to take my channel to the next level. So essentially, I'm catering to a new audience now, which is interesting because my old audience, they are there still, but I'm broadening my horizons with the new content. Like I'm venturing into the sports field. I'm venturing into the movie and series and anime, which is something that I never thought I would be doing consistently. So becoming too comfortable with your content, it can backfire. And I feel like that's also a lesson that we need to remember, so that we don't, as Whiplash said, we don't lose the spark or we don't lose our motivation, because burnout is a real thing. And I feel like I haven't burnt out after 20,000 videos because I keep it fresh. I have this slogan of discovering something new, and I feel like that keeps me on high alert, because it feels like at any moment my channels could go away. So I need to have some type of security. So that's why I consistently run 5 different channels, and I push myself every single day, and I'm always doing more, and I don't want to just sit and watch videos all day. I want a little bit more in the future. So I got to keep going, you know. Otherwise, I will just be in my comfort zone and just be content with the content. That's a teacher joke. Hello. Content with the content. Don't be content with the content. Always challenge yourself. And hey, maybe, I don't know, maybe at one point I become so ambitious that I try to find some clips to clip farm and just, you know, try to collab with Squeaks, Ludwig, Michael Reeves. Who knows, one day I'll reach that level. But for now, that's the video. Thank you, Whiplash. If you do want to join my community, go over to Twitch. We're live right now. If you want to request a video, go over to Buy Me a Coffee. The link is in the pinned comments. Like, subscribe, and I hope you guys stuck around until the end. Because if you're watching this right now, and if you're listening to this right now, I hope I helped you a little bit with a little bit of insight. And I got a lot of value from this video from Squeaks, and I learned a lot from the last video of clips and from this one. And he is a very smart guy. He's very smart, and there's a reason he is blown up. Very insightful. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you on the next video. Take care for now. Bye-bye.